Yeah. Can you feel it? Oh, here it comes. Yeah, and two. You got a friend in Shane. I said, you got a friend in Shane. He does a heavy metal podcast. He might drive you insane, baby. You've got a friend in Shane. His little Jive Talkin show. It's heavy metal news, don't you know? We have fun and some giggles and some laughs and some news. And sometimes we give you the shoe. Oh, yeah. Are you ready for it? It's time for another episode of Jive Talkin. It's coming now. We're gonna talk about it. That didn't go as the way I had planned it. See, what I wanted to do, I wanted to have it down here on my lap because that was all pre-programmed. I wanted it to give the illusion that I actually learned how to play that. When it started hitting them notes, I wanted you to think that I was actually sitting here playing it. But it didn't turn out that way. And then I noticed that I couldn't add any extras because that song was playing, so it wasn't allowing me to do anything extra to it. That's kind of horseshit. Casio, get it figured out, okay? Casio, get it figured out. Welcome one and all back to another episode, fantastic episode of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo, episode 178, I believe. A lot of hard rockin' and heavy metal news. That's what we do here. We talk about the heavy metal news. We get to the stories of the week. Then at the very end of this thing, you're not going to believe what we do. We spend a good solid 30 minutes going through your comments because I like to read your feedback from the episode previous. You know, you guys can give me tips and hints on how to do a better job so we get more people in here to listen to this. I can't, you know, I'm having a hard time here trying to figure things out. So we read your comments. I love it. It's fantastic. I've got so much to talk to you about. In fact, I'll give you a spoiler right now. This week coming up, we're going to do a song called Sports by Viagra Boys. I have been on I just happened across a concert of Viagra Boys, and instantly I said to myself, oh, that's like the music that plays in my head. It's like The Clash meets Devo, punky, dancey disco with some slobby looking dudes. And we're going to do the video this week, if I can get away with it, on the reaction portion of the channel of the song Sports. So that's something you can go and already, you know, either like or hate before you even know it's coming this week. And you're the only ones that are going to really know this because if you've tuned into this fine podcast, I'm giving Easter eggs and all sorts of gifts and goodies. On top of the heavy metal news, I've got to give a mad shout out to Blabbermouth. Now, I do not for 1 second believe that they paid attention to the last 3 episodes. But whatever they have done over there with them ads, I got in on a window where they're updating it and they're not here, or they fixed that a little bit. And for that, much love, deep appreciation. You know, I love me some about Blabbermouth, and that's where we get our stories from that I like to sit and read. Another thing I'd like to talk to you about is the glare in my glasses. I don't know what to do about that, and I thought there was something I might be able to do on the laptop with levels or something that would take that glare away, but I can't figure that out. You know, people ask me all the time, is he wearing glasses that don't have lenses in them on his videos? Yes. It's as simple as that. I cannot stand to look in my own beautiful eyes and see a glare. I don't like it. I have very loving, expressive, good eyes. And I want them to be seen and appreciated. Thank you. We do have all your comments lined up. You're so damn happy about that. I know a good handful of you are just happy about that. You can always get in on those comments. This is a no request zone, so I think we had 3 of them last week or the week before. Any video that I've got out there, hear me now, hear me loud, hear me clear, hear me now. Any video that I have out there on the interweb, you can't, that's on YouTube, you can put in a request. By the way, Instagram, direct messaging, all of that, I don't open it, don't look at it, don't read it, don't do nothing. Any kind of DMing situation, if you want to get a hold of me, Patreon or in the comments of my YouTube, this is where I spend all of my time, because this is what my God, let's get a greenie, sip that real quick. Anyways, I was going to say about Viagra Boys, I absolutely love them. I've listened to all of the records now, and I watched 2 concerts of Viagra Boys live, and they make me crack up. They make me, they're punky, they're fun, they're dancey, and they don't take themselves too seriously. Stories we won't be talking about really quickly, and then we'll get into this bald beauty right here, Robert Halford. Ozzy Osbourne promises to do his best. I didn't want to do this story because I don't want any kind of downer stuff going on, but he says he's going to, at his final concert, he's going to try. He says, I'm going to try and do my best. But he says he may have to be sitting down, and to him I say, Ozzy, we love you. You don't have to dump water all over yourself. You don't have to jump up and down and clap your hands. You don't have to try to pick up the guitar player over there while he's so beautifully playing a solo, and you're kind of messing it up by doing that. You don't have to sell yourself to us, good sir. We give you one of these and one of these because you are one of the greats, okay? So don't you damn ever say he's going to try and do it. You've done your best. I told you the time I had that, I got my Ozzy Osbourne Bark at the Moon cassette on the way to get a hernia surgery. And my dear mother, Mama Diablo, she put it in the player, and we listened to Bark at the Moon on the way for me to get my surgery. So Mr. Osbourne, do not fret, but he says he may have to sit down while performing. Green Day, I mean, that's kind of punk rock. They're not really punk rock, right? Punk rockers would say they're not punk rock, but they got a star on the something, Hollywood something. They're running out of room on that thing, aren't they? Hollywood Walk of Fame, they've been putting people on there since, like, Faye Dunaway, Faye Ray from King Kong's on there, for God's sakes. How many slots do you got for that? Or do they just dig them up, bust them out every year? I don't know. But anyways, let's get into it. There's a metalcore. There's a metalcore in another one of his pretty outfits. He says, when I'm at home after tour, I like to get me beads and stuff out and make me a nice little outfit for me concerts. Now, I can't do all of me outfits, because, why, that'd take well over a year. Each one of me outfits that I'll make with my little beads, my little shiny beads, it might take me 3 months to do. So I could only do about one and a half little suits, little outfits for me concerts with Judas Priest. But he can bedazzle them up, doesn't he? I mean, it's even less, not as cool, right? If he said, oh, now someone makes these for me. Oh, no, I ain't got the time to do that. It's like, take it off then. I don't want to see it. Of course, he's wearing them O.J. Simpson gloves. They still sell them. I can't believe that. Rob Halford still loves the writing experience with Judas Priest. It's so exciting. All these years later, and I did hear a quick little nugget from one of the Judas Priesties, Faulkner, I believe, where he said that Glenn Tipton does still put a hand in and help out and write songs when he can. But 50 years, and Rob Halford says, it's so exciting to still write. In a new interview with Columbia's Radioactive, Judas Priest singer Roberto Halford spoke about how the band's songwriting approach has evolved over the course of the 5 decades. Ideas, I call them seeds, heavy metal seeds. There are so many seeds going on all the time. Seeds? I was looking through me phone, because now I've got a phone.
it used to be a cassette recorder. I haven't lost my phone, but in my phone there's 100 of ideas that can be a lyrical, a melody that I can think of that might be a whole song, I say. Because at this point in my life, I can do things that I couldn't do like 20, 30 years ago. I can sit and think, and I can compose a whole song in my head if I want to.
I bet he's got a big skull for that. I bet he can keep a lot of good ideas in there. I mean, Screaming for Vengeance, there's one great big solid song after song, great idea. Am I right about that? Someone going to say something, say I'm wrong about that?
I can sit and I think, and I can compose a whole song in my head if I want to. And I know that might sound a bit crazy to you, but that's where I should be as a musician, because I've like 50 years of musical experience. So once I've defined the idea of the song and the melody of the song, I can create the whole thing in me bleeding blacky head, vocally. I can't do it like Glenn Timpton, Priest guitarist, did it, or Ken.
Still weird that they call him Kenneth and Ken and stuff. But
former Priest guitarist Kenneth K.K. Downing, or Priest guitarist, the Faulkner, the mother Faulkner, Richie Faulkner, or I can't do what Scott Travis, Priest drummer, gonna do, or even that little old lump that sits back there by the drums. Why, he hadn't moved. We just roll him out. He doesn't even move one bit. We just roll him out on a cart and roll him back off. One Ian Hill, Priest bassist. But what I'm saying is that is one of the ways I personally make me music. And it's the same way that Glenn would collect his riffs, or Ken would collect his riffs, or Richie is collecting his riffs right now. I told you I've got a phone. I just mentioned to you that I got my phone, and I sent him a text right before Radioactiva, and I says, "Are you looking at your riffs and stuff? What you put in your phone?" And he says, "I am. Indeed, I'm looking at it right now." He says, "Okay, that's all I need to know. All these seeds are put into the ground, and then eventually it will turn into a big metal tree."
He's the metal guy.
That's exactly right, Shane. That's exactly what it is. So it starts like that, and then you come together and you sit with it. You sit with each other.
Who is this fellow? They didn't want to put the fellow that's giving him the interview. Colombia. I'm not even scared to put my my little twing. What's it called? The mouse. I'm not even scared to rub it over here on these sides like this anymore. It's very easy. I don't get the anxiety that I did before.
One of the things I've always felt that Priest grasped onto right from the early days was, if a singer sits with two guitar players, there's more energy, there are more ideas, there are more opportunities flying back and forth, and that's always paid dividends for this band as a trio, writing as a trio.
So they really were a trio, because the melody also gets paid. So, like, for instance, Ronnie James Dio, Rainbow in the Dark, or whatever song you may pick, the way he sings that is also part of the melody. So he created a melody within the melody of the music. Does that make sense? So what I'm basically saying is, if Glenn and Ken and Rob all sit down together and they come up with those beautiful songs in which they have over so many years, then Robert does what he does, and that adds that other melody to it that makes you go, "Oh yeah, oh yeah."
Let's see, where were we before we were so rudely interrupted? Thank you for taking a moment, Radioactiva. And we still do that now. So that's really been from British Steel, particularly up to British Steel. If you look at the composition, the writer's credits, the writing credits for those, it's all over the place. One song might be Glenn, one might be Ken and Rob. But when we got to British Steel, we utilized this great idea, being in the room together. 2 guitars and a singer. And more opportunities seem to flood into the place that you're working from. But it's great. I love Mr. Halford's positive attitude, but it's great. You know, he's the metal god. I'm starting to get a little bored here with this. Music can come out of the blue. I'll wake myself up in the middle of the night with an idea, and I put it in my phone, what I told you, the phone by me bed. Before I go to bed, I watch some of my favourite kinds of movies. The kinds you have to go to a special website for. So my phone's by me bed, and I'll be making notes, mental notes, because I'll forget it if I don't do it quickly. Who was it that said, and I kind of want to say it was Keith Richards said he used to do that. Or who was it that was talking about how they have a recorder by the side of the bed, and they woke up in the middle of the night and played a guitar riff which turned into like one of the biggest hits of all time. I can't remember who that was. I thought it was Keith Richards. I don't know. It's like Brown Sugar or something. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Because I'll forget it if I don't do it quickly. I love the writing experience. There we go. Here it is. It's so exciting to me. I just love the thought of new music, new art, new creativity. It's endless. And I'm so blessed. Again, that hasn't really dried up. I've still got it nice and looped. I've still got that energy and exuberance and wonder. I'm always wondering about what we can do next as a band as Priest. Judas Priest will team up with shock rock legend Alice the Alice Man Cooper for an epic co-headlining tour across North America this fall. Produced by Live Nation, the 22-city run kicks off September 16th at Mississippi Coast Coliseum in Biloxi, Mississippi. Now, they say, come down there and get some of them shrimp. Isn't that where Bubba Gump Shrimp was from, Mississippi? You know what I've been loving lately, and they just keep popping up on the old TikTok, and I do have that. And it's very addictive, so don't get it if you don't have it. But, you know the clip from Forrest Gump where he's talking about the shoes? Someone will film someone with just painful-looking shoes on. I saw this guy, he had his shoe not on the foot, but up the side. But they put that little clip where he goes, he's like eating chocolate, so, them some nice shoes. I bet them some comfortable shoes. And I just love it. And now all of a sudden my TikTok's just feeding it to me. People filming people's sore, painful feet and them say, oh, it's nice shoes. Just a little inside fun nugget for you guys, you know. Just kind of breaking the fourth wall. Third wall. They will hit on this Judas Priest Alice Cooper co-headlining tour. Indeed, you may, if you have your eyes wide open and looking out for them. You're going to see them in Toronto, Phoenix, Los Angeles, California, and more before wrapping up October 26th at Cynthia Wood Mitchell's Pavilion in the Woodlands, Texas. Jesus. She's so damn rich, this white lady. So damn rich. That instead of just going Cynthia Mitchell, yeah, we know who she is. She owns the whole town. We know who she is.
And she got her goddamn name everywhere. We know. You got to put the whole thing in. That's a lot of cement work, chipping that in there. The Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion in the Woodlands. My God, Cynthia, give it to the people, man. Give it to the people, Cynthia. Or is that like a nice park for where children can play? No, it's a pavilion, so she can make money and have Judas Priest play there. Judas Priest, hailing from Birmingham, England, alongside Black Sabbath, who also lived there, has been at the forefront of heavy metal for indeed over 50 years, with iconic albums such as and like British Steel, the album that Shane mentioned so wonderfully, Screaming for Vengeance, and their newest release, Invincible Shield. The band's legacy is cemented by their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction and unparalleled live performance. We get on to Disturbed really quick. Because I think Mr. David Draymond says the Disturbed band, which no one likes, apparently. I mean, literally everyone goes, yeah, I don't like them. I'm not a fan. But they're selling out arenas and stuff. And they say that they have an album's worth of material, but we haven't nailed down when we want to release it. That's the Dre man right there. You see him. And then these other three guys, whoever they are. Don't know them, never saw them, couldn't recognize them at the Whole Foods if I saw him. Now the Dre man, he come popping his bald nugget into the Whole Foods there. You damn right I'm going to know who he is. He's going to say, yesterday these organic carrots were cheaper. What has happened here? Anyways, Disturbed has already recorded enough material. We haven't nailed it down yet, but we're planning to nail it down in a new interview with Rock 100.5, the KATTFM, Cameron Buckholtz. I call you Cameron. Cameron, do you mind if you're paying attention to this at all? I'm going to call you Cameron. I can't call you Butthole. I'm not calling you all that. Butchholtz. Change that name, because you were brutalized in school. Butchholtz. You're brutalized. Disturbed. No, not Dan Dunnigan. No, I wanted the Dre man. Disturbed guitarist Dan Dunnigan was asked about a possible release date for the band's follow-up to 2022's Divisive album. Dan said it's transcribed by Blabbermouth. We haven't really nailed that down. We want to release it because our priority's been this touring cycle. Celebrating, have you heard about this? This touring cycle we're doing is celebrating 25 years of Disturbed's debut album, 2000's The Sickness. And I need to ask you right now, Cameron, are you down with it? Butchholtz. Are you down with The Sickness? We want to keep the focus on the anniversary. We did record a bunch of material this past fall, enough for an album. And it's great, and we love it. And we're excited about it. But we thought at least with this tour, we'll put out I Will Not Break. Is that a good one? Have you heard it? Do you like it? As a new standalone single. The kids are loving those these days. The standalone singles, have you heard about that? It's where you record a song and you just release it right away. You don't have some big corporate weasel saying we'll slap it out on this date because, the stock market's going to drop 2 points, and so this will be a great moment to. No, it's just a wing ding wham bam thank you ma'am type of style with the new kids on this block, and it's great, and we love it, and we're excited about it. But we thought at least we get that I Will Not Break out to the young kids. Give the fans something, a little something to nibble on. But not quite announce a release date for the whole album, because we're still trying to strategize when we're going to tour next. We have some European dates in the fall, And that's a continuation of the Sickness anniversary tour here. And we have to figure out what our plan is for 2026. Wouldn't it be great to make your own plans? We've got to sit down as a group and make our plans for 2026, for next year. Are we going to go rock Thailand this year, guys? Or, that sounds like a wonderful life. If you can have it, it sounds like a great life. Well, at this point, it's still kind of up in the air. We may drop another single at some point. Shh. And maybe we'll have a release date for the whole album by that point. Regarding the fact that I Will Not Break marks Disturbed's first release via band's own label, Mother Culture Records. See, the Dre man understands how the Benjis work. And if you have your own record label and own your own rights to the songs, and you pray that this new album, my God, please let it have 10 top 10 hits. That's the way to do it. We've been with Warner Brothers our whole career. And this is, the first time us doing it on our own. We had a great relationship with them. They always worked hard for the band. We're very thankful for their relationship we had. And it probably helped that we were successful early on the first album. Now I'm brain farting. Did they actually, The Sickness was the first record? I feel like they just said that. Come on, get down with the sickness, your mother get up. Come on, get down with the sickness, your daddy get up to go down with the sickness. Isn't it wonderful? Just Warner Brothers, that's a big name. That's what you see pop up on all them movies and everything. They say, we've been with Warner Brothers for our whole careers. We just got to plan 2026. That's the biggest problem for us. All right, well, we're done with this. Look at that. There's Don Donegan. Which one's Don Donegan? I'm going to say it's him. Even though he's in the drummer's position, technically, that's where you slap the drummer. Or there. I'm going to say he's the bass player. He's the guitar player. That's Don Donegan. This guy's freaking. He is freaking down with the sickness. Back to back. The Dre Man. Who doesn't love him? Udo Dirkschneider. Look at those eyes. What a tender boy. You are such a. Give you those little cheeks a little slap. You are a tender boy. You know that? Those are the tender eyes of a tender man. Udo Dirkschneider admits he was a bit too quick to say he wasn't going to perform them Accept songs anymore. Because he just did Balls to the Wall again, didn't he? But that's a face that says, whoops. He says, once I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said, boys, I shouldn't have said that. It was a little bit too quick to say. That I wouldn't perform the songs. In a new interview with Metal Hammer Grease TV show, they have a TV show out there called TV War. Just spit something out. What the hell was that? Former Accept and current UDO. I was reprimanded for that. You can't call it Udo. When it has the dots in it, you cannot call it Udo. You have to call it UDO. And his other band, Dirkschneider, frontman, wait a minute, hold on. Who is the frontman going to be? Udo Dirkschneider was asked what keeps him motivated to still record new albums and tour at the age of 73. Another story we won't be doing is Sammy Hagar saying, I ain't got it in me no more. Says, I don't think I'm going to do any more touring. And yet, here you go. You got Udo, and they're asking the question, at 73, what keeps you going? And he says, let's say this. The most important thing that I still have fun to doing this. That's the most important thing. I also like to create new albums.
Normally, you can say, okay, I don't need to do new album. You can say that. You say, okay, I don't need to do new album, but I mean, we have so many stuff. You can change every year the set list if you want. No, it's still fun to do this. I always say when people ask me, when do you want to retire? And I say, I don't know. As long as my voice is working, as long we can tour worldwide, why stop? So I can sit home and drink coffee? No, for what? No, it makes no sense. I really like to do this. I have a really good band with me, especially now at the former except bassist Peter Baltus. He let those other freaks. He came back to the #1 freak. And it's a lot of fun to do this. And as long as everything works, I don't know, maybe I can keep doing this for another 10 years.
God love you.
I don't know.
Udo, who recently did a reimagining. Do you see how good I am with heavy metal news, guys? Somebody will sit there and say, this, have you seen that Shane Diablo podcast? He can't do it. He don't know a damn thing about heavy metal, dude. He don't know a damn thing about it. And here I am dropping news nuggets everywhere on you. Just like just like a hornet's nest being dumped open over your head. Just boom, at every angle. You're being stung by good news, by effective heavy metal news, not good news. Not all news is good news, but what did I say? I talked about him doing the Balls to the Wall cover. Udo, who recently reimagined Accept's iconic album, Balls to the Wall, iconic album, to celebrate the LP's 40th anniversary, was also asked if he has had any thoughts of celebrating other Accept albums, such as perhaps 1985's Metal Heart.
Yeah, and I know already that some people came up and said, oh, maybe in 5 years, 2030, you can do with 45 years of Metal Heart. Yeah.
83. Or what? That's only 5 years, right? So he'd only be rolling up on 80. It's weird to think that, isn't it? I think the guy at work, the angry one, he was showing me his license. And I think he said it doesn't expire now till 2033 or something. And I was like, that can't be a thing, really? I remember being a kid and hearing Y2K. Oh, it's New Year's Eve in the 1999. Oh, Prince. 2000 party over. It's out of time. And it was like, it's the end of the world. They're all over the news. They're going, oh my God, the computers are going to shut down. What does that mean? That means no electricity. That means the prisons open up and everyone's going to die. Fear. Always with the fear, right? But it's still strange to think that was, it's literally 2025. We've grown up watching movies where it's like, in the year 2010,
Yeah, I know that some people came up with this. Oh, maybe in 2030 you can do Metal Heart. I don't know. At the moment, we are so busy with Dirkschneider. 40 years of Balls to the Wall to uns tour. It's going until the end of the summer next year. And in between, we have to work on the new UDO album.
I wonder if he calls it. Someone find that damn video, if there's a video of this interview. and see if he says, and we got to work on the new Udo record, and then clip that, and then put it on on YouTube, and say, Shane, you can say it any damn way you want. Okay? Because if he says, "Ons, we have to go work on the new Udo album, and then after the summer next year, we want to make a little break. We want to make a little break, and then I don't know what the Udo album is coming out, maybe the end of 2026 or maybe in the beginning of 2027, and then touring again." It's just too much, isn't it? These lifers of rock, they've got it all planned out. You heard him. We do have Peter Criss coming up next, and we also have Gene Simmons. Really quick, he's going to explain. Why he's going to charge $12,000 for someone to come out and hang out with him on tour. So that'll be real quick. Then we get into your comments. All right. Udo, you got the best of me. Can't you see? I don't know. Maybe we can do something with Metal Heart. The Metal Heart. We will see. But I always say never. I mean, it was the same when I did a 3 years long tour with Dirkschneider. We played only accept songs. I think I was a little bit too quick to say, no, I have enough of playing accept songs. I have enough of my own. And he does. He's got a lot of good tunes with his band UDO songs to perform live. But then it's a history that people want to hear that. I saw Accept. I may have mentioned this somewhere, someplace, somewhere before. But I did see, I never got to see Accept with Udo, but I did see them opening for Creator. And I hadn't heard a tune with them and that other fella, Fontanello, Tomatillo, whatever his name is, Antonello. I was like, holy shit, these guys are banging. But they was doing all the hits, Balls to the Wall and all that. And I was like, this guy really rocking them good. Let's get into Peter Criss ever so quickly. He's going to talk. He's got a new solo record coming up. He looks like an old vampire sitting there waiting for them to bring in a small bowl of blood for him. Where is the fresh blood? I wait, longing for the fresh blood. But he's want to talk about his solo record he's going to be putting out. Man, he's got the rosaries on and everything. He's just... The crucifix don't frighten me. I'm a deeper level vampire. Like a higher level. But in the vampire world, we call it deeper and not higher levels. In a new interview with the Rock Experience with Mike Brunn, by God, how you doing, buddy? This guy right here, Mike Brunn, he is a Kiss maniac, a freak for Kiss. And he must, I don't know how he does it, but you go to the Rock Experience with Mike Brunn, and he's got hours and hour-long interviews with Vinnie Vincent and all of this. And, he's got some kind of access, that Mike Brunn. I'd even dare to say that a couple of our videos that I've done on my channel has been stuff from, that he's filmed somewhere, because he goes to all the Kiss cruises and all that. That damn Mike Brunn, he's down for it. He's got Kiss fever. In a new interview with the Rock Experience with Mr. Mike Brunn, original Kiss drummer Peter Criss, spoke about his upcoming rock solo album, which is due in the fall. The LP was co-produced by Criss alongside Barry Pointer, who has worked with Ozzy Osbourne, Jonathan Five, Motley Crue, Steve Stevens, Pearl Aday. Now that is, I want to say Pearl Aday is Scott Ian's wife and Meatloaf's daughter. And she is a singer. And Mr. Barry Pointer has worked with the fine Dolly Parton. And I'll tell you right now, you want to hear a fun thing? Have you ever seen the movie Rhinestone? Dolly Parton and Sylvester Stallone. If you haven't, you'll have yourself a damn fine time. It is a cringy but wonderful movie. And I love the old country singer. He's a dark old country singer that Dolly Parton owns a club. I won't give the whole story away, but she owns a big country club in New York City, and Sylvester Stallone is a cab driver. And an accident happens or something, and there's a deal made where she's got to turn Sylvester Stallone into a country star. Anyways, there's this just grizzly dude that gets up there. He's got a scar that runs down his face and stuff, and he just, I'm going to write a song about my sweet love, Loretta. And it turns out, that she got ran over by a tractor and shit like that. Just go watch it. You'll enjoy it. You'll have a good time. Dolly Parton tries to turn Sylvester Stallone into a country star, and he's got to perform and not get booed by this crowd who's notorious for booing. Joining the 79-year-old musician on the LP are Billy Sheehan. We know him. Matthew Montgomery, a.k.a. Piggy D. Hey, we know him. I don't know who Matthew Montgomery is, but I know who Piggy D is on bass. Jonathan Five. And Mike McLaughlin on guitar, and Paul Schaefer on the piano. That's Paul Schaefer in the world's most dangerous band, David Letterman. He is in good hands, my friend. You got John Five and Paul Schaefer and Billy Sheehan. You are in good spirits, my friend. The record also features the talents of backing vocalists Dennis and Sharon Collins and Cat Manning of Cat 5. This is a real all-star situation here. Beth, I hear you calling. Yeah, I'm excited. I got great players on it. I got Billy Sheehan and Paul Schaefer and Johnny Five and Michael, my guitarist, and I got Piggy the Piggy Man from Rob Zombie. So it's like a dream band. And it's a real Peter Criss album. It's an album I always wanted to do, and hopefully the fans will like it. We will, Peter. Okay, bud? We will. Don't worry about it, and don't look at any bad reviews on it either. Don't get online. Peter, listen to me, Peter. Listen. For once in your goddamn life, listen to me. Don't get online and look at bad reviews of it. And people saying it's not good. You clearly have the arsenal. You have the weaponry to make the songs to have a great record. There's no reason in the world why there should be a bad review of it. The as yet untitled studio album will be Criss's first solo release since 2007's One for All, which arrived 13 years after his previous solo release. I had an absolute blast doing this album. And everybody was so much fun to work with. They were just amazing. Criss told Rolling Stone magazine, I will be doing more in-depth interviews closer to the release date in the fall. Criss had previously touched upon a new solo album back in 2014, promising at the time that the LP would be heavier. Well, there's your John Five. John Five and Piggy from Rob Zombie's band, get the freak out of here. He's going to be going, to one of them nice Rob Zombie numbers. He's going, oh, I'm digging through the ditches, I'm burning through the witches, slamming in the back of my Peter Criss car. Whatever, I'm just saying. He's got the power now. But this was 14 years ago. This was 2014. Speaking to an audience of fans at a question and answer session at the All Things That Rock Festival in Oak, Pennsylvania, Criss stated about the progress of the recording sessions of the follow-up to One for All. I've been sitting on a record. I've done this thing like 5 years ago, and I'm still messing with it. I'm not done messing with it because I don't want to rush it. Criss revealed at the time that he had been working with the John Man, Johnny Five Alive. I want to take my time with it, and him. I'm constantly putting time into it. I want it to be heavier than I've usually done my stuff. Because he likes to sing those, like those 1940s songs, you know. I've seen some of those videos where he's in his living room, just kind of singing, "You, my little sugar scoop, my little honey poop, you, my little sweetie pie." You know, it's just not quite 1950s or 60s. It's just before that where it's all whatever. Not good, I guess the thing to say. Because fans is never happy. You guys are. No matter what we ever do, you're like, oh, that sucks. I want this. Or he's playing that ballad shit again. No, that's what we want to hear from you, Peter, is that ballad shit. You got like 2 or 3 big bangers, buddy. They should be staples of your stuff. Criss first left Kiss in 1980. Since then, he's worked with other bands and released solo albums. He teamed up with Kiss again for a reunion tour in the 1990s, and most recently in 2004, he was replaced by Eric Singer, and Paul Stanley said that if he ever jammed with Peter Criss again, we would have to change the name to Piss. Do you see how good I am with my double news nuggets, heavy metal nuggets? What did I say? Peter Criss has 3 good bangers. Here they are. In addition to playing drums in Kiss, Peter also provided lead vocal for a number of the band's most popular and memorable songs, including Beth, that's 1, Black Diamond, that's 2, Hard Luck Woman, 3. You'll be a hard luck woman, baby, till you find your man. I like to hold notes. See how long I can hold them in. Yeah. Let's just really quickly look at this muffin top. Look at this guy. Oh, and he took do you think he took off that money bag logo? Did someone air that out? Because he does look like he was chopped in. They're like, man, we wanted to do a video podcast with Gene Simmons where he was sitting like in someplace cool, not in his freaking kitchen. So they just cropped him out and put him in a sweet recording studio. Gene Simmons doesn't like recording studios, dude. He does not like to be in them. He likes to be in terrible 80s movies. He doesn't like to be in the studio. Gene Simmons says astronomical insurance costs. Oh, this guy's going to bitch about insurance costs. 100 millionaires going to bitch about insurance costs. I love it. Don't you love it? Now, don't get me wrong. I want to be filthy rich like the next guy, okay? But I ain't going to get on and talk about how things are so bad, insurance prices are so high if I'm freaking rich, okay? He's got a Gene Simmons idea for a Gene Simmons Kiss insurance company. Don't let him tell you he don't. Gene Simmons says astronomical insurance costs are why he's charging more than $12,000 for one fan to be his roadie for a day. I mean, he might be putting this guy really to task. You're going to pay me $12,000, and by God, I'm going to slave drive you. And you may get hurt on the job. And I don't want you collecting workman's comp on me, pal. In a new interview with 95.9 The Rats, Carl Kraft, Kiss bassist vocalist Gene Simmons discussed the personal assistant and band roadie for the day, quote-unquote, experience he is offering to his fans during his upcoming tour with the Gene Simmons Band. The experience in question, called the Ultimate Gene Simmons Experience, man, that sounds like that could just get real kinky. Like, you paid for this. You ain't going nowhere. The Ultimate Gene Simmons Experience offers fans the opportunity to not only meet Mr. Simmons and his band, but to assist him with load in at the venue and setting up the stage, attend sound check, and spend time backstage. The roadie will also join Simmons for a meal, and the 75-year-old rock legend will introduce the fan during the gig. The experience costs $12,495 plus the original ticket price. Oh, so he's lumping, that's a paid ticket too in there. I don't feel like you need to even highlight that. Let that slide and let them feel like, I don't know. Gene. Comes with the bass guitar Gene previously used. Yes, and I do like that. You do get a freaking bass guitar from Gene Simmons. And is only available to one fan per venue. Asked how did you come up with the price? Who's this guy? I like the cut of his mustard. Carl Kraft. He's saying, I'm coming at him. So you're not gonna mention anything about him, doing that, right? I'm coming at him with it. Asked how he came up with the price. How'd you come up with $12,495 for the experience? Simmons said, here's the deal. When I was a kid, I went to see Jimi Hendrix, or somebody, of course, and I enjoyed the show, and I really got off on it. We talked about it forever and stuff. But I didn't know what it was like. What's the beginning of the day like? What's it like to sit and have breakfast or lunch with my favorite rock star, and then get in the limo, go to the gig? Well, in the small print, it'll say, P.S. You ain't getting in the limo with Gene. You ride in the equipment van. You go to the gig, set up the drums, do the sound check, and be on stage with your video. Because nowadays, everything's on video. You can't take a poop without a camera coming in under the stall. Well, you're Gene Simmons. That's big money right there to the paparazzi. Gene Simmons taking a shit is front page news. You got his money bag hat on. Hey, what are you doing down here? I'm trying to take a shit. I mean, I guess it would probably only be third page, right? It wouldn't be, they catch Kim Kardashian taking a shit. That's front page news. Around the world. Unless it's been on that TV show seems to be going on for like 20 years now, hasn't it? I mean, literally. What's he saying, damn it? Let's see. Do sound check the stage, because nowadays everything's on video. You can't take a poop without a camera under the stall, and then you get pulled up on stage to sing along with them. Now, having said that, we only do one roadie for a day per show, and I'll tell you why. Because nowadays everything is too litigious. Oh, don't you know about it, Gene? Said the kettle to the pot. Right? Gene likes a good lawsuit. That's a big word, like gymnasium. He says that all the time. Any interview he does, he'll say a big word, and he'll say, you see, I know big words, just like gymnasium. Every time. That means everybody sues everybody for no reason. So if you get a paper cut, somebody gets sued. You put our face paint on your dogs and put them on the internet, you know, they don't get to wear that makeup. I'll bet you I would be interested if there's any Kiss cover bands out there, because I have heard rumor that that if you're legit, you're kicking something to them. Some kind of song stuff or something, like, I don't know. Maybe that's all horseshit. I don't know. So, if you get a paper cut, you get sued. And that's just the way life is in America. Much more in California, by the way. It's crazy out here. Don't have a guess then, Gene, for California. So I can't even, if I wanted to, bring out new roadie for a day with 10, 20, 30, as many people as we would like. Yeah, he'd like to have 30 of them. He would love that if 30 men, and it would all be men, maybe one lady, but it would all be 30 middle to late aged men that you don't want them to handle nothing at their age. You want them picking up the fucking Ampeg bass amp and moving it around? I'll tell you what, Toby don't. The bass player, he damn don't want your old fingers on it. He'll use his young, strong, tender fingers to do it. So we do one because the insurance cost for is astronomical. And so this ain't cheap. You're damn straight, Gene, it ain't cheap. It's not for everybody. And for that one person, you do have to pay premium numbers. That's just life. Well, Gene went on to say the $12,495 price tag doesn't just include the classic stuff. It's also exposure, financial and legal exposure. Somebody has a bad experience and they sue you and it costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars. You need insurance for everything. Do you have a car? You've got insurance. Everything in life. Yeah, health insurance. You know, got some of that too, I think. Everything in life, apparently, in fact, you buy anything. A tool, they give you insurance. Would you like that 1 year or 3 year warranty? Gene's taking the 3 year. He says, I'm fucking rich. I'm in the middle of Lowe's. In the hardware Lowe's. And I'm filthy rich. I'm taking the 3 year warranty on it. I don't care. I'm never going to touch this saw. I'm buying it so I can have it. And just, it'll be there. Simmons is also offering another package called the Gene Simmons Bass Experience, which gives one fan and three guests the chance to meet the Kiss icon backstage. With this package, the fan will be able to take home one of Simmons' bass guitars, which can be signed and personalized, for $6,500 for a non-stage played instrument, and $12,500 for one that Simmons previously played at a show in addition to the ticket cost. You can give me money. Jesus, that was over the top, wasn't it? Am I losing it? I just love that money, though, don't they? Gene opens the account and looks every day. I'm just like, oh, please. I always do this before I open up and look at my account. Oh. Gene, he looks in and goes, hey, honey. They just added another zero in there. I love waking up and seeing another zero added in there. All right, let's get into it. It is time, my friends. I'm going to knock all these pages out here because you just, you know, they've done me solid. I'm loving them for that, but it is time. Did it just go blurry there? Hell, I don't know. With that glare in my eyes, I can't tell if it's blurry or not. But I need the glasses to read. So, welcome back. Here we go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Scatterbrain today, I'll tell you. I get on the bus to head home. And bus driver, you know, they switch them routes so often. There's probably 15 of them rolling around that I talk to. You know, that I've met over the span of riding the bus or whatever. And I pull up, you know, I'm getting my bike on the rack and getting on the bus, and this bus driver just staring at me. And it took me a minute. I was like, oh, are you the guy that makes the leather pouches? He makes those hand stamp, you know, like, what do you call it? Barbarian pouches and stuff. It's him. It is him. It's been 2 years. He says, by God, this is what he says. Oh, God, I never thought I would see you again. Kind of, he said something like that. I never thought I would see you again. It's been 2 years. And I said, has it been that long? 2 years since I saw you last? My God, where does the time go? What's been going new with you, he says. What's been going on in your life? I said, rinse and repeat, baby. This is it. The same thing I was doing 2 years ago, I'm doing right now. He said, well, I'm, you know, and the reason why I'm telling this story is because I wanted to get to the point of, have you ever been on the bus and you wanted to sit down in a seat, but you can't, and you got to stand up the whole damn time? I've talked about this other driver a long time ago, where I couldn't sit down in the damn seat. It's not that guy, it's a different guy. Literally, rolling down the road, and he's telling me, and I've got child on the way tomorrow. And I says, you get the hell out of town. I get, really, you got, how many kids do you got? He says, well, I've got a 4 and a 2, and now we're going to, tomorrow, they're inducing her, we're going to have our 3rd child. I can't believe it. But you're not going to see me. And I said, oh, you're quitting. What's happening? What's going on? He says, no, I'm not quitting. I'm off for a month, for 4 weeks. I'm going to spend time, I'm going to take leave and spend time with my child as it just came from the womb for the first month of its life before the slave driving gets back to work. You know, I'm saying all this part. But he said, I'm taking 4 weeks off to be with my wife, my beautiful, beloved wife, whom I've made love to at least 3 times. I'm going to help her with the child. That's what I'm going to do. And so when I got off the bus, I finally got to sit down for 2 minutes, and then I had to get right back up and get off the bus. But I just said, good luck to you, man. I'm sending those positive vibes out. Happy, healthy child. Go and go forth. You know, paint that baby's room. Do it. I don't know if he had to paint the baby's room already. I'm sure he did that. He's prepared. He's a bus driver. He's late 5 minutes every time, but that's fine. Let's get into your comments. That's right. It is the best part of the show. It's where we relax, we chill out. At some point, I'll probably have to take a bathroom break. Not right now. I'm not feeling like it, but this is where we get into your comments and stuff. And I lovingly repeat over and over again how much I appreciate you guys for doing this, and remind you that this is not a job. I'm not going to be hurt if you don't get a comment in 1 week. You know what I mean? So don't let it become a job, because it don't matter. If you want to be here, do it. I do love the fact that you guys are replying to each other's comments. I do like that, because I get in and it'll say 45, and I'm going, oh my God. The podcast got to be 3 hours now. And then it turns out it's just you guys chat with each other. So, Sticky Doll up first. First one here. Isn't that great? On TikTok, if you're the first one to comment, this thing pops up and goes, first. And I'm just like, no, I got to find more of that to do. Now I just leave little bits of encouragement. You know, someone that just got their first TikTok up, and they're like, hello, you can do it. First. All right. I think I'm going to go relieve myself really quick before we get into this. So this doesn't count for Sticky Doll if you guys are doing that betting game on who's going to get the bathroom. But I'm going to do it just to make sure I'm empty. Everybody needs a little time away, a holiday from each other. Wouldn't want to be swept away. Sorry. I do want to interject really quick before Sticky Doll about concerts that I've watched. I watched, I told you, Viagra Boys. I watched, who else was it? Oh, I've got King Crimson on my mind because I watched this like 20-minute, I don't know what it was. It was a song that was like 20 minutes long, and it was absolutely one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen in my life. I mean, they have 3 fucking drummers, keyboard players, and all of this, and I wish I could remember that song name. But it was like this epic journey type of thing. And then who else did I damn watch? Muse. And I've come to a conclusion about Muse. If that dude isn't using a fake lip box, one of those fake vocal singings, they are one of the tightest, greatest bands, rock bands out now. The 3 of those guys, Muse, I watched this whole concert and it was like a Broadway play. Digitally, powerful, artful. It was amazing. And that guy hitting them high notes and singing and playing guitar and all that, just amazing. So what I've been doing is trying to find bands that I'm not quite familiar with, but I'm like, oh, these guys are really huge and popular. I wonder what's going on with them, and watch those concerts and see what's happening with it. Let's get into your comments. Done with all the rest of that shit. Let me have a sip of this. We get into Sticky Doll. Taking that prize for first one here, indeed. What would we do on Saturday if we didn't have Shane Diablo to get our asses out of bed? Gracias, mi amigo. There's 4 thumbs there, getting a 5th and a heart on that. I mean, compliments get you everywhere. The Revenant. Let's see. And I did have a few scares with these comments where I was nervous. Big Tone. I got the not there. So I clicked it a few times and I got it all set to go. The Revenant coming in. Someone asked me about my handle, The Revenant. Oh. A spooky name that's kind of fun. A few years ago, a game called Phasmophobia was released, and in it, one of the ghost players would hunt was a revenant. So out of the pure boredom, I made this account to post things under the videos of this game being played, and in the live chats, people would laugh, and it was fun for about 3 months. I just kept it and posting things from time to time, but it wasn't until your podcast that I felt I should emerge from the shadows and be part of something. You're going to make me cry. I found this podcast and the members very interesting and fun. It's all love, and it really is. I do enjoy the banter about orbs and UFOs. I've had experiences and usually don't talk about them because people think you're crazy and stupid. Oh, he's lost it. His mom died, didn't you hear? Yeah, and his best friend. Oh, his mom and his best friend. Of course he's crazy. I ain't no damn dummy. You can't pull one over on me, sister. Don't even try. Anyways, let's get back to the fun here. I do enjoy the banter about orbs and UFOs. I've had experiences and usually don't talk about them, but I will here in time. I look forward to Johnny B's Y-File segment because I believe he reports from his heart and his good intentions. That's where it has to be. You must use discernment. Remember that word, use discernment. Wherever there's people always looking in to cash in. So you need to, use discernment. That's all I'm saying. about Johnny B's Wi-Fi segment because I believe he's reporting from the good intentions. I also enjoy the movie reviews. Movie review. Here we do movie reviews, the music news and stories. I hope Miss Althea's husband a speedy recovery. I also enjoy Miss Althea's honesty when she comments, nothing but the best. Your friend, the Rev. Welcome. And you're damn right. It's all about love, people. That's the bottom line. That is the happiest state you can possibly get to and be in is love. And everyone's been angry and pissed off and knows that, well, that don't make me feel good. But when you're just like, c'est la vie. You know, I'm not saying go jump in a big orgy pile and have, if you're into that, you can. But I'm just saying, when I'm saying love, I'm just saying, get rid of all the, I don't like this, I don't like that. Can you believe this? What's going on? You sound like me when you do that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Very well said, my friend, the Revenant. Very well said. Johnny B coming in here. I see Nico McBrain's meat house. Maybe he's going to explain himself. Johnny B, a few things to address from last week to start this bad mother off. First, I am happy to report that we did choose Buffalo Wild Wings over Nico McBrain's Meaty Ribs and More Meat Rib Shack. In fact, we didn't even make it to that town. However, if we do in fact visit next time and there's a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. I always wondered how they say that. I thought it was crisp. Ruth Chris Steakhouse across the street from Nico's. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I was thinking about that. Visits next time. There's a Ruth's Chris. Okay. So it wasn't Wild Buffalo Wings or whatever the hell it was, but it was Ruth's. You go in there, dude. I've never ate anything from there. I've heard everyone go, holy fuck. If you have a steak from Ruth Chris's, you're going to shit yourself. Sorry, I got to keep going with this. I can't be budging in. A very serious decision will need to be made. Secondly, you had asked who Barry Oakley was. Yes, he was the bass player for the original version of the Allman Brothers. Okay. And he was a monster. Like a sociopath or like a really good bass player? You are currently learning to play the bass, and I urge you to check out his stuff. I will. Those first 4 Allman Brothers albums are complete bangers. Sadly, Mr. Oakley passed away in 1972, just 1 year after Dwayne Allman, and under similar circumstances. Oh boy, what's that? And only 1 block away from where Dwayne passed. There's something going on there? Why do I feel like there's the Allman Brother documentaries that I've missed? They are one of my favorite bands ever, and their history is very cool and interesting. Okay. Johnny B on the Tobias Forge. You know who he is? He's that little fella that sings for Ghost. You know, he's a you go down just like Bloody Mary, Mariana Cross. Tobias Fiarque is doing the Lord's work by not allowing cell phones on the upcoming Ghost tour. I've gotten used to it over the years, but it can be annoying when you're trying to experience a live show and there's a bunch of bimbos, males and females, with their phones up, recording or making videos of themselves. Tool doesn't allow cell phones or video being taken until the last song. Do they change that? Which was Stinkfist on the last tour. Maynard told the crowd to take out their phones and record, but said, and I quote, turn off the camera lights. I did see a video where he kept going, you dumbass, turn the light off, turn the lights off. And I don't even know how you do that. Turn the phones. Turn off the camera lights. If you have the light on, I'm going to come find you and take a giant shit in your mouth. Have you ever seen that? It's not pretty. End quote. And he damn meant it, Shane. Well, that's how you get out of them meet and greets. You know, you just flash a phone in his face. I said, that's it, I'm coming over, I'm going to shit in your face. Let's see, Johnny B says, the newest member of Iron Maiden has some pretty big shoes to fill. Nico was no slouch behind that kit. And from the sound of it, neither is Simon. Especially if Mr. Bruce, the Mandrake Project, Dickinson, is singing his praises. I'm looking forward to seeing his shoes in these new shows on the Run for Your Life tour. Yeah, Bruce said we could do it tomorrow. If we really wanted to with old Simon, we could do it tomorrow. Boy, that's an English name if you ever heard one, right? Simon. There's a Simon on every block. And oh, Simon? Oh, yes, Dad. Oh, what's it? Oh, you want him or me? You know, there's got to be 1,000 Simons around there. Johnny B says, a big tip of the hat to Mike B for watching Burnt Offerings and reviewing it. Spot on review, too. That dude needs to go pro with that stuff. I think so. Do you do this on, Mike, do you do this on Rotten Tomatoes or something? You should be doing it. Why shouldn't you not be doing it if you love to do it? His reviews are always spot on. This is Johnny B talking good about you. I have another recommendation, not just for Mike B, but for everyone to check out, and that is the new horror movie, Presence. I've been wanting to see that. Tell us about it, because I want to say what I think it's about. It's a very unique film in that you see things from the ghost's perspective. I like that. Throughout the entire film, and with a massive surprise twist at the end. A must-see. I know what the twist is. It's that Joel Osment, isn't it? But he's full-grown and with the beard and shit. And he goes, hey, we're dead! You know. That's the surprise ending. He says, I see dead people. I think he just went off the rails, didn't he? Like they had to zap him with the police had to hit him with the taser and shit. Did you hear about that? The little kid from I See Dead People? Unbelievable. Loved. And why in the hell is anybody tasing anybody? Doesn't that sound barbaric? You getting zapped with these little hooks? I'm going to give him some extra juice, boss. Don't do it, Tony. Don't do it. I want to fucking grease him with this, boss. All right. Let's focus here for a minute. Johnny B says, loved the new photos of your orb that you've recently picked up on, and I agree with you wholeheartedly that they have been here for a long time and are showing themselves little by little. I'm about to blow your socks off here, pal. They have been showing themselves little by little, so when it is announced, the world doesn't collapse. 100%, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, is they're saying, we cannot just go, hello, ladies. You've got to be gentle with it. That's why. You know, it may take quite a while, but it has to get to the part, you know, where it's like, yeah. I think I'm some kind of guru, or like, not guru, but some kind of reporter on it. Yes, indeed, and what we've got here, let me look at more charts for you. It's just what I'm feeling in deep down inside, if that makes any sense. And, like I've said before, it is all love. It is all, you know, I also, okay, where are we? Have technology says the world won't collapse. I believe they're in the ocean and lakes, have technology beyond our current comprehension, 100%, and the discovery and now frequent use of AI has pushed all of this into the limelight. Quantum physics, quantum computing. It's the connection. Here's what I think. They're ready. I think that it's happened before where they've tried to go, hey, we're here, and it hasn't turned out so well. It is the connection. It is the advancement of quantum computing, quantum mechanics, quantum computing, whatever the hell it is. They say they're ready. They're ready to be able to accept something like this. Like they're not. Now listen to this when I say this. I think that they're going to be ready to accept the fact that they're not the biggest, baddest, coolest, hippest thing in the entire universe. You know, it is what it is. And here's the thing that I'll blow your socks off with. Watch the clouds. You've seen all the clouds and stuff like that. I love watching clouds, but watch the clouds. And even better yet, watch for little sprigs, those little clouds. And just keep your eyes on them and just watch. Watch what they do. Watch how they come together. The wind can be blowing one way and you'll see 3 clouds and they'll all accumulate together. Here's what I think. They've always been here. And I'm willing to bet half the clouds that we've ever seen in the skies our entire life has been them. Because I'm seeing weird things in clouds now. I've watched them blue sky to bright, beautiful. I've said this before because I remember doing this in the podcast. But great big cloud and then over about span of maybe 10 minutes. I'm telling you, man, it's a wonderful thing though. And, you know, if you listen to this podcast on Spotify, you're loving this because it slices everything up into little nuggets that we talk about. So when it gets to creepy, scary ET stuff, you can just go, oh, I'll just skip past that if you're not interested. Love the new photo. Where are we at? Sorry, I'm going to shut up now. I'll stop. Loved the new photos. The world doesn't collapse. I believe they're in the oceans and the lakes, have technology beyond our comprehension, and that the discovery and now frequent use of AI has pushed all of this into the limelight. I also believe we are close to using quantum computing. See, if I just shut up, wouldn't I? And that has also spearheaded a lot of the sightings in some way. I think they're ancient and have guided us all along. I think those pyramids are not just...
That's what they put the bodies.
I don't believe that for one damn minute. It's all true, and it will all come into play with this subject very soon. I'll give a proper Y-file post next week for you, but my comment is already way too long, and I need to wrap it up. It's like a segment. He's like one of them segment directors on the news. This means wrap it up. So very, very good there. And he's got the hashtag in there, get Shane to 100K. Oh, bless his heart. So with that, another awesome episode, Shane. As always, I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Until next time, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and keep the rubber on the road. Very good, very good. Big Tong. See, now when I first got, I'm seeing Clive Burr long ago. Okay. When I was first firing this up, I was only seeing he was getting those dots that we've talked about. If you're new here, you don't know what that is if you're new.
Brother Shane, we've come to expect fun and informative podcast every Saturday, and this one, once again, failed to disappoint. I don't know much about Exodus. However, I give big props to Zetro for being a devoted family man at this point in his life. Way to go, Zet. I mean, he really is. You know, he's probably a good father. Who doesn't want to see Steve the Zet Man Sousa out mowing his lawn? You drive the shit out. Fucking fabulous toxic walls over there, dude. And he literally mows his lawn in the shape of the toxic walls. It's just the craziest thing. It's the funnest thing. He's the funnest neighbor in town. He's the funnest guy around. Big Tone says, I'm not really one of the, with the no phones at live show rule. He's not with it. But hey, if that's what they want, it's their right to put that in place. What they'll do when they spot a rogue phone not secured in a yonder pouch in the crowd, well, what are they going to do about that? It's a question he's asking. I guess we'll find out, won't we? I'm a child of the 80s. Oh, you just went English there. I'm an 80s concert scene. Oh, yeah. Big Don, I think you're going to English on me. I think you went over the, went on over the jolly old fucking England over there. And of course, there was no phones then. Cameras weren't allowed either. Yeah, remember when Axel jumped down? That footage where he jumps down and starts punching the guy? It's because he had a camcorder. Cameras weren't allowed either. But it would have been cool to have some of that footage. I agree. Concerts and backstage stored somewhere other than my head. But it would have been cool to have some of that footage. Concert and backstage stored somewhere deep inside my noggin. Yeah, I was having a conversation about this as well. Everything in the 80s and 90s, or some of the 90s, looks like shit. You ever notice that? Any videos you watch, anything, and I think what it was is filmed to tape. Because you go watch a midnight special with Thin Lizzy on it, or whatever, it's crystal clear. But then as soon as you get into the 80s, they get cheap, and they start using VHS tape, and it doesn't hold up as well. Is that a crazy theory that I'm having? And I know I've said it before. Big Tony says, Clyde Burr, rest in peace long, long ago. Hopefully, Simon can hold his own for the duration, hoping Nick's health doesn't fail him. No, we don't want that. I don't ever want that for Nico McBrain. I want him to just be just fine. He is a light, he's a interesting character. What is the name of the guy? And it has been bothering me for weeks, but I'm like, I like characters. And this guy and Nico McBrain is a fun character. But what is the name of the guy? Because I don't even want to look it up now. It's like, it has to come to me. But he's so quirky, but he's a great actor. He was in Jurassic Park, and he was Brundlefly in The Fly. It's like, I cannot think of that guy's name. And I refuse to look it up. Because it's like, I know him, I love him, I enjoy every interview I even watch of the guy, every movie he's in. And I can't think of his name. Anyways, Big Ton says, Papa Roach shout out to Step Brothers. The effing Catalina wine mixer. Ha ha ha. He's a beauty. I don't know if I've seen that movie. I know that's Will Ferrell and the other funny man, Dr. Brule. Not sure an entire acoustic set would appease the masses, but what do I know? He's talking about the Papas and the Roaches. Remember with that, when we watched that, and we listened to I tear my heart open, the silver seal shut. Big Tone, it was wonderful. What are you talking about? You'd pay top dollar Papa Roach concert acoustic style. The Big Tone says, I do have a question, my friend. What part of turkey does the bacon come from? can't do it.
Yeah, I know. It's a rough deal there. I mean, it's like if I have too much bacon, I feel like, oh God, I can't. 2 strips in 7 days. But I don't eat turkey bacon either, except for when the family comes over. So, two strips of that, and then I'm out.
Thank you again. Oh my God, thank you again for the well wishes, my friend. And as always, keep them coming, brother.
And then he's got the heavy metal emoticons and the, I'm going to say, trending hashtag, get Shane to 100K. Somebody get that to Metallica. And they can go, yeah, yeah. I mean, if they made a little video that was just like, hey, Shane, what's up? I'm James. He says, I'm Laws. I'm Robert.
And I'm like Kirk, man, or whatever,
But they made a little video and they were like, I'll tell you what, Lars, what's the greatest channel on YouTube? And he said,
it's Shane's.
I would have 5 million. I would have 5 million subscribers the next day. So if we can get that hashtag over to Metallica, I sure would appreciate that. Mike Buchanan coming in here, by God, and I looked in it, and it looked like the entire story of how the West was won. So let's get into it right now. Mike Buchanan, the 69 man, says, on this week's movies that are bad, but we love them anyways, I'm going back to the classic B movies from the 50s that started this feature, The Tingler, 1959. This movie is one of my all-time personal favorites. When the director of the movie comes out before the movie starts to warn the audience about physical sensations by certain members in the crowd that they might feel a strange tingling sensation, and if you feel a tingling sensation, you can obtain immediate relief by screaming. The audience is told that a parasite from the movie has escaped into the theater, and that if it latches onto you, you will feel your spine tingle. Is this one of them theaters that do that? And it won't let go unless you scream. Director William Castle, there he is, arranged for some of the seats in the theater to have the backs vibrate during scary scenes, making people scream in terror until the parasite released them. I almost had a little trip out there. I looked right into the camera, as I always do. I was like, oh my God, it's turned off. I'm not doing this again. But it's running just the way it should. The Tingler marks the second teaming for horror's greatest actor, Vincent Price, and horror's greatest showman, William Castle. This film was released later in the same year that their first venture, House on Haunted Hill, was unleashed upon the audiences across the world. And the film sees the two men deliver more of what they did with their first feature. House on Haunted Hill was much loved then and now for its ludicrous plot line and hammy performances, and The Tingler marks another successful fusion of these elements. The plot line is even sillier this time around, and it follows Vincent Price's scientist. Vincent Price is a scientist as he conducts his experiments into fear. He discovers that when we get frightened, a thing which we call the tingler manifests itself on the spine column. And the only way to get rid of oneself of this tingler is to scream. Deaf mutes can't scream. However, And soon after discovering that his friend's wife suffers from that condition, he has an acute fear of blood. Price gets to work on attempting to isolate and remove the tingler under the sheets with that guy's wife, right? Is that what you're going to say? Is that the spin on this? Vincent Price doing the horizontal bop with some guy's wife, and he's giving her the tingle? That's something you don't want to think about, right? William Castle shows his flair and passion for entertaining his audiences throughout this film, with the whole film being basically a metaphor for the horror genre on the whole. Castle uses several different methods of getting his audience to scream, and while this film isn't very scary by today's standards, watching this master of entertainment weave his magic is always delightful. Another thing that's delightful about this film is the fact that Vincent Price is in it. Price has an amazing ability to command the screen. Boy, he does. Just look what he did for that song, Michael Jackson's Thriller. You would have heard that song and said, that's a pretty groovy tune, but you put Vincent Price in there, you say, that's a classic. And while this movie doesn't feature his best performance, he's always entertaining, and it's always a pleasure to see him on screen. Castle special effects are hokey, with the central monster, the Tingler, looking rather silly. But that adds to the fun effect of the movie. And if the effects had been terrific examples of how good special effects can be, the film wouldn't have been nearly as fun as it is. The Tingler is silly throughout, and it gets really ridiculous toward the end. But if you watch knowing that this isn't to be taken seriously, you'll enjoy yourself just like Castle intended. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, pop some popcorn, and press play, if you dare. I'm telling you, dude, you should get something going. Sit down and go, what's up, fam? Get yourself a YouTube channel. What's up, fam? Or not like that. You can do it your own style, but why not? You clearly enjoy writing and speaking on movies. You should do something with that. Find something that, whatever you're passionate about doing, and do it. I love music, and I love talking about music, and no one wants to do that with me. So I talk to you guys about it. Maybe, here's Mike Buchanan with his stuff here. Maybe Zetro should join forces with Kerry King for King's second album. Hey. I myself would think that would be awesome. Starting the having a new singer for each album King releases. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Boy, that's kind of a good marketing idea. Mark can go back to Death Angel if they're on speaking terms. Well, let's see. The Headbangers Ball Tour was in 1989. The World Series team that year were the Oakland and San Francisco. And the earthquake hit prior to Game 3. Jesus, you are good. That game was postponed to a future date, and if you really want to know, Oakland swept San Francisco to win. So was he an Oakland fan? To win the championship. Was he, I'm going to say Bay Area, San Francisco, but he was like, we're going to the World Series. So that would be, whatever. Mike Buchanan says, I myself am okay with having phones banned from shows. I went to see Tool a few years ago, and they banned phones, and were super serious about it too, as the group behind us got kicked out of the concert because they wouldn't stop using phones. I heard about that as well. One of the guys that I work with, the less angry one, he went to Tool when they came, and he said that some people next to him or by him or around him were kicked out for filming. I found it refreshing, kind of like going to a concert of old before cell phones were were invented. Yeah. I think that's just where my head's at. I mean, other than, if they've got a good phone, one of them big son of a bitches, that are just this big, and they can really get a good zoom on it, and they got steady arms. If I'm going to be watching if I'm going to be watching that concert through your phone while they're playing live, I don't want you shaking your arms around. I want it steady. But if you got a steady cam situation and stuff, I mean, it's kind of better on the eyes. I just look through that sometimes. And I've still got the fever, I still got it happening around me. And invented. Might surprise you, but I've never seen Iron Maiden live. Starting to think that if they come somewhat near me, I should go. Don't know how many more years they have it in them to keep the touring like they do. I would suggest it. I mean, I cried like a damn baby during Wasted Years one time. I mean, it was coming out of me. I was like, the wasted time. I'm not crying. I just fucking, someone spit in my eyes. I would say go. You'd have a good time. What's this about Madrid? I'm made in lies. How many more years they have in it to do it? Yeah, I agree. And Mike Buchanan says here, okay, quick note to Johnny B on cemeteries and vacations. My family and I, whenever we go on a vacation, always look for and tour the oldest cemetery in town. I've never thought of that before, but that really sounds very interesting. We find it fascinating, and it just helps with all of the hustle and bustle to be at a place where it's just peaceful, tranquil, and quiet for a little bit. Yep. That's something you don't think about very often, right? Going and go eat your lunch in the cemetery because there's not going to be anybody there bothering you. Mike Buchanan says, Shane, are you anywhere near Skinwalker Ranch, Orb Central, at that place? Indeed I am, my friends. Indeed I am. And I will dare say, all the ley lines, I'm learning about ley lines. You know what a ley line is? It's those ley lines that would connect to all the pyramids and all that, like lines that go across and around the world that equally connect. And I'm learning that all these ley lines go straight through my county. So yes, indeed, Skinwalker Ranch. And I've watched as much of that free that I could watch, because I don't have the channel. So wherever I can find Skinwalker Ranch, because I love that one guy, he's going, well, we got to get out there and we got to shoot this rocket in the sky. And we got to find out if there's anything up there, because it seems to be a force field there, and we got to get that rocket up there. Then I also like that one guy. He's like Bones or something like that, and he's like this head security. What do you think, Bones? Well, I don't know. Digging over there might be a little dangerous. I'm going to have to check. And then there's this other guy that flies in on a helicopter. He's like the kingpin. What's going on? Tell me what's going on with the orb situation around here. So I love it. So yes, indeed, your point on. And now it's time for Mike Buchanan's Jive Talkin Jokes of the Week, provided by one Mike the 69. I phoned the wife earlier and asked if she wanted me to pick up fish and chips on the way home, but she just grunted at me. I think she'll still regret letting me name the twins. I think she still regrets letting me name the twins because you named them Fish and Chips. Today my son asked, Can I have a bookmark? I burst into tears. 17 years old, and he still doesn't know my name is Mike. How does that equate? I don't understand that. Can I have a book? You're going to have to explain that one to me, or don't. So my wife and I wrote our own vows for our wedding. Hers were very sweet and loving. When my turn came, I said, A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y. The minister just stared at me. Hey, it's not my fault I misheard the word vow. Vowels? Oh, what? And what was always the thing with the Y? I don't understand that. Put that into context for me. I know A-E-I-O-U. Why sometimes why? I don't know. Sorry. Mike Buchanan, joke of the week, says, I hear Sasquatch makes pots, bowls, and plates out of clay. He's a Harry Potter. Do they really do that? Is that something like, say, oh, we found some, it's got hair in it. The clay has hair, the pottery has hair in it. And finally, Doc asked me, do you pee when you laugh, cough, sneeze, lift heavy objects, etc.? Depends, I replied. Yep. No, there's no avoiding that. Me thinks. At some point, I don't want to get into the dirty details, but 40 is much different than 50. I will tell you that. And indeed, when you lift heavy things, every once in a while you get that little blast there, and you say, "Well, damn it, why did I do what happened there?" It's you need to go to the bathroom a lot more often. That's all I'm saying. Miss Althea coming in here, she don't want to hear about that. Miss Althea coming in, the dumbstruck fool says, and indeed she will be closing out the episode. The dumbstruck fool says, what the bleep happened to my comment from last week? Really? What? I know for a fact it stuck because Mike B replied to me and I replied back to him. I thought it was there. Didn't we read it? So the whole thing could not have dropped off at random. And I certainly did not delete it. Just wow. Okay then. I suppose it's just as well that I have another short list this week. Really? Did we miss it? Did something happen? I'm feeling terrible about this now. Really? Okay. She got a short list this week, damn it. And it better show up this time. Should see the light of day. All right, let's read that again, because we got to get the snark in that. I suppose it is just as well that I have another short list this week. Should this one not see the light of day? That's better. Miss Althea on Ghost's cell phone ban. And I do love that she gives me the little heads up there, what she's about to talk about. It's like a little thing I can set you up with, if you're just listening. Concert in Japan do not allow them. It is a standard venue policy there, from what I understand, and why you never see any raw, that's a very good point, formerly known as bootleg footage of shows in that country. To cite my own personal example, the only fan film footage I have ever seen of a Gazette concert has been from Brazil, Europe, or the United States. Oh, yeah. I have mixed feelings on the matter. I agree with being free of the distraction, but I also like to take a couple of photos. I agree with that, and a short video at a show, just to have a personal memory, yes. At the same time, though, I think it's wrong to take phones totally away from people and deny their source of communication. I mean, like, God forbid there's an emergency or your family or loved one is trying to reach you. That's going to be an issue that they run into. When's that lawsuit? Well, I had to put my phone in a Yonder bag and my house burned down, so I'm going to go ahead and sue. Yonder, I will sue them, and I will sue. whichever band it was. Yes, I don't know if they'd ever be liable for anything like that because you know you don't ever read all that shit that's on that all that fine print that they got when you buy the ticket. If you die at concert, can't sue. Well, you they tore the ticket, baby. You went in. You know, you never know. I agree with being free of distractions. Yes, photos, videos. Personal memory. At the same time, it's wrong to take the phones away. Yes. Okay, I read all that. Miss Althea on Bruce Dickinson. Could he get Clive Burr back? Question mark. Only if he knows a necromancer. Clive has been dead since 2013. Yeah. Well, he's not dead. He just left his meat sack. That's what that's the way it goes. That's what it is. He's, you know, Clive Burr as we knew him is not there, but he's probably right here right now zipping around me. Fourth dimension something. So I feel like I'm losing it. I feel like necromancer. Clive has been dead since 2013. Papa Roach acoustic. A big hell yeah to Jacoby for making a Step Brothers Catalina wine mixer reference. Okay. I knew that he, when he said that, was referencing something that he'd seen in a movie. And now it's coming together even though I haven't seen the movie. A big hell yeah to Jacoby for making a Step Brothers Catalina wine mixer reference. I kept waiting for him or one of the other guys to shout out, "Boats and Hose," during the performance. Miss Althea on Boats and Hose, is that something? I mean, it's like, maybe I should see this movie, Step Brothers. I missed a lot of those movies. Is that like a Seth Rogen movie? Miss Althea on The New Orb. You can name her Chloe, after Olivia Newton-John's daughter. Chloe. My God, it's good to see you again. All right, it's named. So tomorrow morning when I whiz on out there on my bicycle, get on over to that bus stop, 5:50 a.m. I say, Chloe, that's your name now. That's what we do. Miss Althea on Big Tone and Tom Jones. I expect a full report on this. Yes. Many fond childhood memories with Tom's songs as a centerpiece. Does anyone remember when he collabed with The Art of Noise for a cover of Kiss by Prince? I heard that song. The Art of Noise scared me there, but I do vaguely remember that. Keeping it bitchy. That's Miss Althea. She's heading out. Tagline, keeping it bitchy. Peace out. I guess I've got to go look if I find time to see. I thought that last episode went smooth as butter, but maybe I was. Have you had enough yet? Are you done? You ready to go? I'm ready. We're just gonna send this off. At the end of the day, here's all I'm gonna say. Just chill. Just be. Simple as that. Get all the clutter out. That's what I've been doing. It's working on me. Let's see. No. Damn it. Oh, yeah. Clap your hands, everybody, and everybody clap your hands. We're Lambda, and Shane's Jive Talkin podcast. Now we come here on stage tonight to do our show for you. We got a rockin' rhythm with a high-tech sound that'll make you move your body down to the rhythm. Let me tell you about Shane podcast. Giving it to you every week now. Every week now. You're loving it. You're loving it good. It's a podcast. Heavy metal news podcast. Give it every week, yeah. Podcast fun. Listen in the shower. I don't know what that means. Talk, baby, talk, talking to your body, talking to your body, talking to your body. Yeah, that sucked.